next guest here as we kick off our 25th year, bringing you further into tomorrow, is Dr. Chris Toumazou, and he will allow you to shop with your DNA. Chris, welcome into tomorrow. How do we shop with our DNA?
Well, Dave, I think the key to this is the ability to actually extract your DNA from your saliva in a retail environment, and that's what we do with this thing. This is a lab on a chip. So effectively, no white coats, no big machines, no
sending it away.
No sending it away and waiting months for results. This is all done in situ on this little chip that we invented back in the UK. So just in a few minutes after extracting some saliva from my gums, this then goes into a machine, and the machine within half an hour will give me genetic predispositions due to conditions like type 2 diabetes, obesity, hypertension. These conditions are nutrition-related medical conditions. So if we know that you've got the predisposition to these particular conditions, then what we can do is we know what macronutrients in food products should be good or bad for you.
So you would actually tell us what we can avoid or what we should do perhaps more of to help ourselves.
Absolutely. In fact, I don't tell you, you tell yourself. It's my DNA and it's my choice. What we're saying to people is they don't need to move away from eating biscuits and crisps and chocolates. They can still eat chocolates. You don't need to eat bananas instead of chocolates. What we're trying to get people to do is say, okay, if you eat these chocolates, eat the best based upon your DNA, the healthiest for you. And those small changes over a period of time can make a radical effect on your health. For example, here's a couple of junk chips. Now, I'm going to have chips, right?
Because you want them.
Because I want them. Because the best diet is the diet you don't know you're having.
Yeah, true.
Okay?
Very true.
So what I'm really trying to do is give myself more choices within my own habitat. Therefore, those small choices will enable me. So I put on my DNA band, I scan the product, that packet is green for me.
So it's scanned that quickly.
Okay, absolutely.
And this is based on your DNA, so it says you can have these chips, perhaps not so many of them, but enjoy a bag.
Enjoy a bag. Whereas these crisps that I found on the shelf, veggie chips, I would have if I'm going to get some and I'm hungry and I see these next to those, I might want to spoil myself with health. But these are red for me, based on my DNA. Why
Which means avoid it.
Avoid it.
Okay.
So why is that the case? So first thing is, when I go into my app, I can then look and scan those products that I just scanned will appear on my app. And then if I press on the veggie chips,
you get a thumbs down on the veggie chips.
And it shows me that the reason they're no good for me, there are nearly 22 grams of sugar in veggie crisps. Oh. Whereas if I go back to the normal cheese and onion crisps, 2.7 grams of sugar.
And a thumbs up, a green thumbs up.
Yeah. So 10 grams more sugar. Imagine over a year how much sugar I'm saving from my bloodstream without even realizing it. Over 2 kilograms of sugar from my blood.
It's too bad you're not passionate about what you do. No, I love it.
But I do, honestly.
No, I'm saying I love it.
When you look at this, and see, because this is not marketing nudge. No. This is using your own biology to nudge you. And the key really is, it's not saying to people, as I mentioned, eat bananas instead of biscuits. It's just giving people more choices. And also, the other big deal is, once you've done the test, you throw away the cartridge. So we don't keep genetic information. We don't store any genetic information at all.
And where would this machine be? Would it be not in our home, it would be at some retail?
It would be in a Walmart or a Walgreen. In the UK, we've got it in a number of supermarkets. We've got our own retail outlet in the UK, so it's all focused around retail shopping. And the test is done. You put the cartridge. This cartridge at the moment is the cartridge for nutrition. So you put the saliva swab. Few minutes, this goes into the box then closes. You can then load onto this band or via the phone your DNA profile. That comes out within half an hour. You can leave the shop, and by the time you get home, the very first thing that you'll see is your genetic profile. And it's not scaring you. It's not saying that you've got genes for cancer or Parkinson's disease. It's basically just saying to you, look, you know, you've got to be wary of salt. You've got to be wary of saturated fat. I don't have the obesity gene. So, for example, why is salt an issue for me? It's because my DNA is saying I got propensity to things like cholesterol and hypertension. So I've got to be very careful of salty products. So that knowledge is really important. However, I don't want somebody or a dietitian telling me that, because I'm not going to comply. I'm not going to comply, right? Whereas if my biology is telling me that, I will comply. Now, the other feature is, DNA on its own is fixed. So I always get the question, well, once we know, then why do we need to continue doing this? We've educated ourselves. But it's not just DNA on its own, it's lifestyle. Lifestyle and DNA together are the big picture. So what we've done is, in this device here, we've introduced sedentary and sit-in time. That's the only activity we've taken from activity monitors. Everything else I'm not bothered about, because...
You don't care how many steps we take?
Well, no, the steps come into it.
Okay.
The steps come into it because we've introduced this thing called the green DNA bar, okay? So when you go to your app, you saw my DNA. Well, what is good, the green bits, it's as good as it gets for me, okay? That's as good as it gets. So therefore, why pollute that DNA with lifestyle if it's as good as it gets? So what we do now is we set this thing called the DNA bar. So if I sit for more than, say, half an hour, that bar starts to turn amber or yellow, American yellow, okay?
Well, amber works.
Amber works. So as it turns amber, the green products, which were healthy for me, now become amber. They become unhealthier for me.
Is it because perhaps you overdid the green stuff, so moderation?
No, it's because I've been sat on my arse for too long.
Got you.
Right?
Get off your arse.
So I need to do some steps.
Yes, okay.
So therefore, I can set the number of steps I need to do to counter that half an hour of sitting. Because see, studies are showing that you can go to the gym 3 hours a week, intensive exercise, and you can't compensate for the health effects of sitting for more than 6 hours. Sitting time is the new epidemic of health. So therefore, we've correlated that with DNA. So the encouragement and the reward for moving a bit is you could have that best of the junk product. That's the idea of the technology.
I'm loving it. Dr. Chris, God save the Queen and the rest of us, and DnaNudge.com. I love it because you're actually nudging us without being lecturing to us. And I'm loving this whole concept. You do have to check it out. DnaNudge.com. We have to get you back on the show. There's much more to learn about everything involving DNA Nudge. We'll link you there too when you visit intotomorrow.com. I'm Dave Graveline. We're back with more from Lost Wages, Nevada, and some very cool tech like this one on the Advanced Media Network. Stay tuned.